take it to Tshwane now, because as schools do away with rotational learning, some learners at Mamelodi have not been able to return to school after being affected by the flooding there. In fact, they've been accommodated at the Nampius Community Hall in that area. It's also where we find Newzroom Afrika's Mnisi, who joins us now live. Linda, painful picture for us in helping us ascertain how some of the community members there are trying to rebuild following a weekend of devastation.
Yeah, Ayanda, you'll remember this is completely something new to them, as they have really been affected by the floods. One would expect that on a day like this, because they have been placed here, in the meantime, they would be able to at least get their children to school. As you've also mentioned, the issue around rotational learning being done away with. A lot of the learners are going back to school. I mean, if you drive around the city of Tshwane, what you see are learners going back to school. Taxi ranks are packed with learners, going back to school. But you get here, and what you find, I'm going to ask just my colleague to show you around, are some of the students, our learners here at this community hall, not being able to return to school. We know that about 700 of them live in this community hall. They've been displaced by those floods. You see there all those mattresses that they sleep on. And this is quite a familiar sight. If you remember the situation in Tshwane, there was, of course, I think in 2019, a similar issue where community members were placed at a local church following those floods. I'm just going to bring in now Vincent Mnisi, who's going to speak to us about, what the situation is like right now. Thank you so much for your time. I want you to paint the picture for us of how things were supposed to happen this morning. We see there are learners here who have not been able to go to school.
Thank you very much. We had an engagement with Sister Flora from Social Development. Yesterday she sent me a message and told me, no, today starting from 6:30 there will be 2 transport that are going to take kids that are schooling at Jafta Mashango, East Rest and your school, Mias Park. So I'm surprised today because of all the agreement that were made yesterday, none of them were fulfilled today. So it's frustrating to the parent because of some of the kids, they wake up at 4 o'clock, and then the ladies that are helping, they prepare food for them, everything. And then now when we arrive, there's no kids who went to school today.
Yeah. Talk to me about the number of learners that you have. Have you been able to consolidate a list of the number of learners that you have and maybe the distance that they have to travel to get to the schools?
As far as I know, we have close to 100 kids that they were supposed to go to school today. And so far, some of them, they are schooling as far as that side of Mamelodi, and then East Lane side when you go to East Lane, some of them. So it's a surprise because they were waiting for transport, and even their parents, some of them, they've told me that they had to make some means of transport for their kids to go to school. Yes.
We understand that some of the people have left. Do you know what the circumstances are or their reasons?
Some of them, they have been frustrated because of this thing is not the first time to happen. Even in 2019, we had a situation like this where they make promises and at the end, they don't fulfill their promises, the municipality. Yes.
So do you know the timelines in terms of how long then you're going to live here? And perhaps have you started working on a plan to at least get learners to school by tomorrow?
We don't know how long are we going to stay here because of, this process has been long. The municipality is taking us left and right because of they told us that during our last meeting that the relocation was supposed to end by November. All of a sudden we were surprised the relocation didn't start in November. Now we are sitting in the same situation of 2019. So I'll be lying to you if I'll be telling you when this process is going to end and when this process is going to start because you get different information from different people. Yesterday, the MMC was here. He didn't even talk with us regarding the issue of community of relocation as leadership. And then we tried to engage him. You know what? Can you please frustrate this thing because of people, they are losing hope in us and also they are losing hope in the municipality. That's why some of them, they end up going back to erect their shacks because of most of their staff, they've been stolen because of all of them, they left their staffs there to come here so that they can be accommodated. but the municipality is not doing anything. And those people are ending up going and start to erect their shack again.
All right, there you have it. Vincent Mnisi there is the leader here in this community hall, expressing the frustrations that they've been experiencing. I ended this morning that learners were told to prepare as there would be transport that would be arranged to get them to school. But surprisingly, in a matter of less than an hour, schools will be starting. But what you see around here is a completely different picture, with some learners still loitering around, waiting perhaps for something to happen. Of course, we will get some reaction for what has been said or what has been alleged by this community leader from the relevant parties.
That was there from Mamelodi in the city of Tshwane. Really concerning what's taking place there. Linda, thanks very much indeed. In a context, of course, where we're anticipating that the city will give itself 8 months, they say, to fix some of the housing issues which actually underpin the crisis that we're seeing there. Certainly a big story. We'll keep watching for you.